Hello, my dear students. So please do confirm if you guys can hear my voice. If the audio is clear, the video is clear. Is there any disturbance? Please do let me know. Yes, everyone, please do inform if the audio video is clear. Yes or no? Yes, Rajgopal, hello. Hello, everyone. I hope the audio is clear. Great. We'll wait for a minute and we'll start our session. So tell me, students, how is your preparation going on? How is it going till where your preparation has reached? So let's just wait for a minute or two and we'll start. So how's your preparation going on? The countdown has already begun for your November examination. Okay, we'll wait for one more minute and then we'll start. So everyone, so let us begin today's session. So hello my dear rockstar students, I hope you guys are all doing amazing. So welcome to this weekly live session wherein we'll come together, discuss one motivational story for the week, discuss one study hack for the week, and we will be taking all your doubts so that we can together ensure that we make November 23 our dream attempt. So I hope you guys are doing great. I hope your preparation is going on in full-fledged. To all the people who are attending this live batch, who are attending this session live or afterwards watching it as a recorded, know that we have come up with a mentoring series called Mission November 23, wherein we'll be doing the daily targets, the weekly assessments, the mock test examination, motivational sessions, and a lot more to ensure that we together rock our examination. So if any of you guys are not a part of that, you can check in the description and be a part of that community, my dear students. So let us begin with this week's story. They say the best part about setback is it is always the first chapter of our comeback story. The story I'm going to discuss this week is of a person whom every Indian knows, who has been at the top of Indian cricket for the past 15 years. Any guesses, students, who that person is going to be? Without any guess, that person is none other than the king himself, Virat Kohli. So, if we look at the rise, the fall, and the rise of Virat Kohli. So, in 2008, Virat Kohli wins the Under 19 World Cup, becomes a part of the national team. From that time, he started playing cricket. So, the first incident of his story I would like to share is the day when his dad expired. So, he was playing for Delhi. He was not out that day. He was playing a Ranji match. That night, he comes back. He gets the news midnight that his father has expired. Any person at that point would have chosen to stay there, perform the final rites. But he told, I have a match that's going on. My dad always dreamt, wanted me to be a cricketer. So, right now, the most important thing for me is to go back, play that innings, and ensure that the dream that my dad had seen for myself, I will make it a reality. After that, he wins the under 19 title. He joins the senior team. He becomes the pillar of Indian team. So from the past 15 years, if you see the person who has scored the most amount of runs for India or throughout the world, the batsman who has scored the most amount of runs, it's Virat Kohli. The person with the maximum centuries, Virat Kohli. The person who has got the most number of man of the match awards after his debut, it's Virat Kohli. Now, I'll tell you the story of Virat Kohli version 2.0. Now, Virat Kohli, the player, the Mr. Dependent, the chase master, he is the person India relies on for any chase. So 2015, 2018, 2019 comes the 2019 ODI World Cup. India is in the semi-final. India lost that semi-final by a very small margin. That MS Dhoni ran out, which shattered billions of dreams. Any cricket person, any cricket fan will be in a position to recollect all those things as though it happened just yesterday. So, India is out from the World Cup. The very next year, we have COVID-19. So, for almost a year, cricket or any other sports is not being played. 2020 is the first year that Virat Kohli has not scored a century. And this becomes a national headlines. That Virat Kohli did not score a century for 1 year. So think of how consistently he used to perform throughout all the past years. So 2020, he doesn't score a century. 2021, he is India's captain. Comes the T20 World Cup. The first match, India is facing Pakistan. India could not score heavy. Virat Kohli being the only person who scored 50 plus. They reach a reasonable total. But Pakistan, for the very first time in the World Cup, defeats India. That too for no loss. So at the end of it, Virat Kohli resigns from the T20 captaincy. After 5 days, he is removed as the ODI captain. Now think of this, students. A person having the statute of Virat Kohli. Now if I say there are two people in India, any person would be knowing. Whether they like it or not is a different story altogether. But two people, any person in India will be knowing. One is our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. One more currently is Virat Kohli. A person of that height, suddenly he is removed from captaincy. Just think of that. Try putting yourself in his shoes. Think of how big a setback that is going to be. How much of a humiliation that might be. But he tells, I am here to provide services for my nation. So if it's not in the position of a captain, I'll do it in the position of a player. So he continues. 2021 again, he is not in a position to score runs. He has a bad IPL. And it is evident that he is trying very hard. He is practicing. He is doing everything right. But somehow, destiny has some other plans. You know, they say God gives the strongest troubles, the toughest challenges to the most strongest warriors. It's not because God wants to test them. It is because God wants them to realize their true potential, to understand their true limits, to go beyond the ordinary. So 2021 again, Virat Kohli doesn't score. He doesn't score a century. He isn't scoring great. He is getting out in the most bizarre ways. That year also goes by. Now, talks have started coming. It's 2022 T20 World Cup again. It's just 2-3 months before the World Cup. Seniors, experts start telling Virat Kohli should not be in the team. Now think of this. A person who has been the backbone of Indian batting for 15 years, the person who rescued India every time they were in a chase, every time they were in a need, just because of one bad year. The same set of people who praised him are now telling he should not be a part of the team. So all these things happen by. And then comes India's T20 World Cup 2022. The very first match, India versus Pakistan. A high voltage match. Almost 1 lakh people are there in the stadium. Almost 1.4 billion Indians, 140 crore Indians, and almost close to 30 crore Pakistanis. And so many other cricket fans from around the world are watching the match. Pakistan bats. They score somewhere around 159. The target for India is 160 runs. India start their innings and they lose 4 wickets in quick successions. If I'm not wrong, it is 28 for 4. The win predictor is telling 10% for India and 90% for Pakistan. In the crease is the chase master. Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya, against all odds, they play, they take the match deep, they take it. Yes, India scores 100, somehow they reach 100, somewhere around 15th over. It reaches to a point wherein India wants 48 of 18 balls. Then they try scoring again, and it is now 28 required of 8 balls. That moment, 28 of 8 balls, any logical person would have told this is not possible. And bowling there is Haris Rauf, their prime bowler, bowling in at 150s. The next 2 balls is something any cricket fan will remember for a lifetime. So the next ball, Haris Rauf bowls somewhere around 148 km per hour. Yes, Virat Kohli stands straight. He hits a 6 straight behind the back of the bowler. And there comes the commentary. And that is the shot of an emperor. Then comes the next ball. Virat Kohli flicks it again. It goes into a 6. So 2 sixes of 2 consecutive balls. Now the score required is 16 of 6. They play the final over. There's a no ball. There's a run out. There's a stumping. Somehow India wins the match. From a state wherein almost no one believed that India could win the match, Virat Kohli single-handedly ensured that he stood strong, he stood deep, took the match till the very end and ensured that India won the match. Now, Virat Kohli was a person who was standing in between India's win and lose. He was that person. The entire 140 crore Indians were watching and the 30 crore Pakistanis were watching. It was that one wicket of Virat Kohli that could have made Pakistan win the game. It was that one wicket of Virat Kohli that he did not lose that made India win the game. Now, why am I telling all this? You know, Virat Kohli has made India win so many times out of these crunch situations. From the past 15 years, he's used to do that. But what is special here? The situation from which he came, the challenges that he overcome. So no, from the last 3 years, think of his last 3 years, everything is going against him. He's not in a position to score runs. Everyone is telling he should not be a part of the team. Yes, odds are stacked up against him. Some are even telling his life is over, his cricket is over. Yes, it is better to retire from cricket. Amidst all these things. And he's trying, he's giving his best, he's focusing on fitness, he's focusing on practice, but he's getting out in the most bizarre ways. But in comes the moment. In comes the king. They say the best part about setback is it is always the first chapter of your comeback story. And how big the setback is, bigger is going to be your comeback. Now, why am I telling this? Most of us would have given our May 23 examination. Most of us would not be in a position to clear our May 23 examination. We might be angry, desperate, we might feel lost, ashamed. All those moments could be there. But the one thing we have to remind ourselves is this is just a temporary setback. And we will ensure that this becomes the first chapter of our comeback story. That is a promise I want all of you guys to do. That I could not clear my examination. I was very close. I got 170, 180, 190. I gave in my 100%. Still, I could not clear my examination. That is not the end of the story. I will ensure that I will sit back. I will plan. I will prepare. I will give in my 100%. I will rectify all my errors and ensure that the next attempt I am going to write, the November 23 examination I'm going to write, I will crack my examination without even a shadow of doubt, without even wanting a small hint of luck to be on my favor. Even if the paper is the most difficult, my preparation will be such that I will go and crack my examination. That is the story that you'll have to keep telling yourself. Know that one setback is not the end of the story. You have a whole book, my dear students. Turn to the next page. You have the most interesting chapter of your life coming. So for all the people who could not clear your May 23 examination, just tell this to yourself. It is just a temporary setback. I will analyze all my mistakes. I will come up with a better plan and I will ensure that November 23, I will make an epic comeback. And the story of Virat Kohli should be an inspiration, should be a motivation for all of us. That doesn't matter at what stage we are in. Setbacks will be there. But setbacks are never there to pull you down. It is always there to push you to another level altogether. Is this clear, everyone? Should we continue? Should we continue? Should we continue? Tell me, students. Okay, now coming to the next segment, which is the study hack for the week. So this week's study hack, so every week we'll be coming up with one tip, one technique that will help you to analyze yourself better, that will help you to study better, that will help you to get better outcome. So what is the study hack for the week? Track your idle time. Track your free time. Most of us, we're having 24 hours, all of us, we think we are giving 100%. But we should ask our question, students, whether my 100% is really 100%. Am I really giving my 100%? Or am I just trying to fool myself? Now, how do I understand that? Don't take decisions based on your emotions. Don't tell to yourself, this complete day I was just studying. Track it. Take your decisions based on data. Track it. So what I want you guys to do is, for the next 3-4 days, track your idle time. So every morning you wake up, you sit for study. After that, you take a break. Imagine you wake up in the morning, 7. Yes, 7:30 you start your preparation. 7:30 to 10. Imagine you sit without any breaks for 2.5 hours. Great. Write it in one side. My study timing. Exact. Even if you're taking a break, record your break separately. Now 10 o'clock, you come out for a break. Yes, record it separately. Idle time, 10 o'clock. Till what time you have taken. So track how much time you have taken as break, when you have taken that break, what activities you have done in that time. Was it avoidable or not? Do this for the next 4 to 5 days. You will be shocked to know that we can improve our studies, our productivity by at least 25% just by analyzing how much time we are wasting in a day. We won't realize, my dear students, but we are unnecessarily wasting too much of our time. And how do we understand? It is not possible to improve ourselves unless we've analyzed what mistakes we are doing. And how do we understand what mistakes we are doing? Where are we wasting our time? Track it. Yes, promise to yourself tomorrow morning, take a piece of book and paper. Today night you went to sleep, imagine at 11. So put that 11 o'clock to till the time you sit in your study table, 7:30. It was your break. In that, what all you have done? Yes, it was a sleep. If you've used your phone, and yes, morning getting ready for your studies. Write it down. Be as detailed as possible. 7:30 you sat for study. 7:30 to imagine 9 o'clock without any break you've studied. Great. Write it down in your study column. Imagine at 9 o'clock you just thought, I'll go wash my face and come. Recall that as your break. See how much time you're taking for that break. Sometimes it could be possible that you are thinking, I'll just take a small 5 minutes break and be back. But when that 5 minute turns into 1 hour, and when that 1 hour turns into 2 hours, and when you decide that today's day is over, let me study tomorrow, anyways I've wasted 1 hour, we never know. So the most important tip is we have to track each and every minute. We have to track our idle time. So once I do it for 3 to 4 days, we will be lot more cautious, lot more aware of every minute that we are spending. Now I'm not telling don't take breaks. Breaks are going to be an integral part of your learning. If you do not take breaks, you will not be in a position to sustain for a long period. Breaks are necessary. Sleep is necessary. But what do you do in those breaks is what determines. Are you just relaxing yourself, or are you distracting your mind again? Are you taking your mind away from your study mode? That is what you'll have to ask yourself. That is the tip for the week. So I've told you already, as much as possible, try staying away from your social media, because this is not an era of intelligence. This is not an era where the intelligent will succeed. This is an era of focus. This is an era where the focused people will succeed. So what we want is focus in order to succeed in our examination. And one small reminder to all of you guys, it's a harsh reality, but pay attention. Know that all of you guys can clear your upcoming attempt. All of you guys can clear your examination in the November 23 examination. You still have sufficient time. But a bigger reality is not all of you are going to clear your examination in the November 23 examination. And it is definitely not a matter of ability. It is all a matter of your hunger, your desire to succeed, your desire to clear your examination, what all you're willing to sacrifice, what all you're willing to go through, how badly you want to clear your examination. It is all a matter of that. If you want it that bad, you will be willing to do all sacrifices. If you want it that bad, you will stay away from distractions. If you want it that bad, even on your bad days, you will continue studying. The question is how badly you want to clear your examination. Ask this to yourself. Know that all of you are eligible, are able to clear your examination, but not all of you will be clearing your examination. And it is never a matter of ability. It is not a matter of whether you have taken classes or not. It's not a matter of whose classes you have taken. It's not a matter of whose books you have studied. It is all a matter of how badly you want to succeed. So remind yourself that every day. Yes, students. So this was the story for the week and the study tip for the week. Now it is time for our Q&A sessions. So all the students, if you guys are having any doubts regarding your preparation, planning, execution, anything, yes, it is time for you to throw your questions so that we can answer that. Yes, all the students who are live, please do like the video so that it helps us as well. You're my motivation. I'm trying to be your motivation. So please do like the video. If you find our content engaging, helpful, please do share it with all your friends so that it helps us to reach more people, so that we can help more students to study in a much more positive way. Karthikeyan sir, I'm planning to complete SCMP in the next 10 days by watching your classes. Till now, I've completed pricing decision chapter. Concepts are crystal clear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear. It really helps a lot. Sir, I have one doubt whether focusing on only one subject will be reluctant or monotonous since I'm experimenting on allocating 2 weeks each subject. Is that possible? Your opinion on the same. Now, Karthik, it depends person to person. I, as a person, when I was studying, I used to pick 2 subjects in a day. Because imagine I'm having SCMP only. Yes, I can sit for SCMP 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But after that, as a person, I will get slightly bored. So if I'm having 2 subjects, I can keep playing with those 2 subjects. Yes, initially I'll start SCMP. When I get bored of SCMP, I'll go to DT. If I'm bored of DT again, I'll come back to SCMP. This way, I can ensure that for the next 15 days, see, ultimately it's the same thing. Either you give 15 days to SCMP, then 15 days to DT. Or you plan that 30 days, you're going to do SCMP as well as DT. But the benefit is if you're taking 2 subjects together, the burden, the load is going to be comparatively lesser. So the outcome is going to be comparatively more is what is my opinion on this. However, it depends person to person. It's not a pure science. It is just a behavior, right? So every human will behave differently. So for me, I felt that if I'm having only one subject, probably by end of the day, I felt very tired because I'm just touching one subject. But if I had 2 subjects going parallelly, once I'm bored of this one, I will go for that one. Once I'm bored of that, I can come back to this. So that is what will be my suggestion, dear. Great story. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Race. It really means a lot. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you so much, Afzia. If you're having your questions, doubts, it is your time to throw your questions, or else I will end the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Vijay. Prashant, sir, I study currently group 1. In my mind, I realize that group 2, don't forget what I have read. Prashant, I did not understand. Can you be a little more specific as to CA Inter or CA Final, and what is your specific doubt? Sankesh, sir, whenever you find time, kindly upload short videos of motivation tips, etc. Since the way you speak really pushes us to some extent, kindly do if possible. I would really love to do it, dear. But for me, when I'm speaking in front of a camera, I have a bit of fear, a bit of hesitation. I don't know. Even when I'm speaking this way, the way I speak in an offline class, when I'm having people in front of me, is not the way I'm speaking in an online setup. And the way I'm speaking here is not the way I'm speaking in front of a camera. So offline, the experience is much more better. But for some reasons, online, I have a bit of hesitation. Somewhere I feel I lack the words. I don't know for some reason. But I would definitely want to do that. I definitely would love to do that. Yes, the time, the hesitation are some parts which are holding me back, but I'll definitely try to come up with something. So every, 1 or 2 days, we come up with a small video. Yes, some video, some motivational video we share in our groups. Every week we come live, and we are definitely trying on that, but we'll see to what extent we'll be in a position to do it, dear. Sir, one tip for summary notes for subjects like DT and costing. Sai Venkatesh. Great. Now, firstly, know that your summary notes are the most important weapon that you might be having while going ahead for your examination. Now understand, to crack your examination, you only want 2 things. Okay, if I simplify it to very base level, you should have understood the concepts. Plus, you should be in a position to revise each and every concept and each and every question in the 1.5 day before examination. As simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. If you can do that, trust me, at least 70 marks of questions in your examination, you will find it from the areas that you've revised. But how do we do that? Suppose you've read a concept. Yes, once you've read a concept, once you've understood a concept, you will have to now ask, how do I prepare a short summary notes? Your summary notes should be concise enough that you will be in a position to revise it in 1.5 days. But it should be detailed enough that it covers each and everything. Okay, so first coming to the concepts. Okay, ignore all the sentences, the punctuations, everything. Just make a point of all the key keywords. If possible, use charts. Okay, prepare short summary notes. Yes, If you are a student of our SCMP, you would have seen the way we have prepared summary notes. That will actually give you an idea of how we can actually prepare a summary notes without even compromising 1% on the quality. Because if you take a page of, if you take a text of 1 page, you can actually eliminate 90% of that, because 90% of that is not adding any value. It is just the background, the story, the reason, the sentence formation, the example, all those things. Only 5% or maximum 10% will be the actual content. That is what we have to revise. So, if you want an idea of how to prepare, you would have studied any chapter of SCMP if you're a CA final student. You can see how we have prepared summary notes. Summary notes are available on the Telegram group, or you can refer our SCMP Rocket Revision. You can refer theoretical chapters like modern business environment, lean system innovation, cost management techniques, wherein so much of theory is there. But still, we were in a position to revise the entire chapter, explain each and every point in 20 minutes. So that is possible. Okay, so have a look at that, point number 1. Point number 2 is, for the questions, while you're solving the questions, understand, when it comes to questions, what we think is once we solve question, it is sufficient. No, dear, it is not. If you see a tricky question and the first time you were not in a position to solve that, trust me, if you do not revise that question one day before examination, even if the same question comes in the examination, we will not be in a position to revise that. As simple as that. So what I have to do, once I've solved a question, what all tricky areas were there, what all important areas were there, what all new areas were there, I will have to highlight it and tell what I've done. Have a separate booklet called as your adjustment book, wherein you will tell, okay boss, decision making chapter, question number 7. You highlight in the question, give a point number 1, tell point number 1, this is what it is, this is what I have to do. Next, point number 2, this is what it is, this is what I have to do. This way, you can revise literally each and every question in the shortest amount of time. Now imagine a subject like SCMP, wherein just a question will run for 2 pages. Is it possible to read that question one day before examination? No. Is there a need to read that question one day before examination? Absolutely no. But what are the important areas? I call it as the tin. T stands for tricky, I stands for important, N stands for new. What all tricky adjustments were there? What all important things were there? What all new items were there? Just to highlight that and write it down so that quickly in 1 to 2 minutes you can revise that question. Is this clear? Perfect. Okay. Next, Prashant told that he is preparing for CA Inter. Okay. Sir, I study currently group 1. In my mind, I realize that group 2, don't forget what I have read. Okay. Now, I think your question is somewhere telling that, I forget what I have read. What should I do? I think that is your question. Now, know that if you are a human, if you are a normal human, you are bound to forget what you have read. So if you're reading things and if you're forgetting, know that it is normal. If you've read things and you're not forgetting at all, know that there is an issue. Okay? But sir, one day before examination, how can we write in the examination if you forget? That is where my summary notes and a revision comes into picture. Once I have understood a concept, it could be possible to understand a concept you've taken 10 hours. But my objective is, next time, how can I revise it in 3 hours? So you'll have to prepare a summary notes, and revise it. Next time I've revised in 3 hours. The question is, next time, how can I revise it in 1 hour? So this way, step by step, I'll have to simplify it, eliminate all unnecessary portions so that one day before examination, I can revise the entire subject. Trust me, that is all we want. There is no need for by-hearting. It is not possible to by-heart as well. Imagine you're having audit. You're having so many essays, so many keywords, so many questions. Is it possible to by-heart remember everything forever? No. Tell me, is there a need to by-heart everything forever? No, we will know the concepts, but is there a need to by-heart each and everything forever? No. The only place I need to get my answer right is on the day of examination. And the only way possible for me to do that is if I can revise the complete subject in 1.5 days. So the only question is, how can I revise the complete subject in 1.5 days? For that, I have to prepare summary notes. For that, I have to cumulatively keep revising. For that, I have to prepare my adjustment book. So all these are the things that will help you to revise in 1.5 days. And trust me, students, if you have revised the complete concept, all questions in 1.5 days, the day you're entering the exam hall, just before you keep your legs into the examination center, you will have a different level of confidence because you know everything you've covered in 1.5 days. You will be in a position to tackle any question that is going to come your way. So do that, dear. Shreyas Bala Balsa. Sir, I'm writing group 2 inter examination. Need some tips to study theory subjects. So for theory subjects, know that. Yes, 2 tips I'll give you. Firstly, whenever you are studying, write and study. Suppose you are studying auditing, essay 200. Don't just read essay 200. Once you have read it, prepare a short notes so that next time you can just keep revising the short notes. Point number 1. Point number 2 is, for a theory paper, question bank is a must. Now, what most of us do is, for a practical paper, we will solve questions. Say for costing, we solve 100, 200, 500 questions. But when it comes to theory, say law audit, we'll read the provision, it is sufficient, we'll be in a position to write in the examination. That is the biggest mistake. Because in examination, question will not ask you, yes, explain essay 200. Question will give you a real life scenario wherein I'll have to apply essay 200 and give an answer. And that comes only by reading questions. So compulsorily have a question bank. Now for auditing, yes, you can refer Pankaj Garg sir's study material as well as question bank. Those are the best. I'm telling this not because I'm getting any commission, but my CA final preparation I did by using Pankaj sir's book. And the level of simplification that book is having is great. It is much more easier and simpler to study than studying ICS books. So that is why it is a definite book for you guys to have. I'm not even telling purchase my book. I've never told. But yes, Pankaj sir's book is something, during my CA final preparation, auditing, I felt it was my savior. So it's a great book for you guys to have. So firstly, study, yes, write and study. Secondly, question bank is a compulsory. Third one, once you have solved questions, once you have read questions from a question bank, imagine essay 200, you are having 20 questions from a question bank. Randomly pick 2 to 3 questions. Tell question number 3, question number 9, question number 12. Read the question, see to what extent you are in a position to write it down. Yes, these 3 things if you do, and keep revising. Every time you feel like forgetting, revise. Every time you feel like forgetting, revise. Every time you feel like forgetting, revise. Just keep doing that. Know that there is no need for by hearting. It is not possible to by heart, but you should be in a position to revise it in 1.5 days before examination. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. Now, Akhil Krishnan, so do you have any tips for remembering sections and how important sections are in examination? Sections are not that important in the examination, but still, if you want to get an edge over other participants, other people who are giving the examination, yes, it is better to write section numbers. Now, what you have to do to remember section numbers? Simple. Suppose you are having a provision. Say, for example, you are studying GST. Yes, you are studying conditions to claim input tax credit. So, while you are preparing your summary, yes, read it with the section. Say section 16.2, conditions to avail input tax credit, 4 conditions. Section 17.5, blocked credit. Yes, whatever it is. That is point number 1. While you are studying, read the section number. Point number 1. Point number 2, what you have to do is, you have to prepare a separate table, a chronological, section-wise table wherein you write, okay, boss, yes, GST, section number 1. Section number 2, definition. Section number 3 to 6 is administration. Section number 7 is supply. Section number 8 is composite mix supply. Just create that list once by yourself. Section number, what it means. Section number, what it means. Read it 3 to 4 times. I'm not asking anything more. Trust me, 80 to 90% of the section numbers you will remember by default, even without making any special attempt to by heart. Yes, once we write it chronologically, revise it 3 to 4 times over the course of a week, you test yourself. You would remember 80 to 90% of the section numbers. Do that. Sir, if you're having summary notes of the faculty, whether do we need to prepare our own summary notes or you can go with faculties? You can go ahead with faculty summary notes, but I will tell one thing. Do not just let it be a faculty summary note, make it your summary notes. So any points you feel, have to be added, you add it. Any points that the faculty has given you feel, there is no need for that, you can remove it. But ensure it becomes your summary notes. It might be the summary notes given by the faculty, but you do the adjustments plus or minus. Make it your summary notes. Sabrine, during my last attempt, I failed to manage my time. Due to this, I was unable to attend the questions I knew. How can I increase my speed? Now, Sabrine, this is something that you will have to start from now. Now, know that in the examination, we have to attempt 100 marks in 180 minutes. That roughly comes to 1.8 minutes for 1 mark. So for a practical paper, imagine like costing SCMP, you will be having a 20 mark question. So 20 mark question, I have to attempt in 20 into 1.8, 35 to 36 minutes. So now itself, while you're attempting a question, okay, imagine you picked a question from the past examination. I don't know if you're in CA final, CA inter. I'm assuming you're in CA final. You picked a question of SCMP. It's a 10 mark question. Now, normally our only objective is to see if we get the answer right or not. Now, understand we should be having 3 rights. I should get the right answer with the right presentation in the right time. So, first thing is, am I getting the right answer? Second thing is whether my presentation is right. Thirdly, whether my time is right. So, if you're having a 10 mark question, 10 into 1.8, know that in 18 minutes you should be solving. So, randomly, daily evening, just have 1 to 2 questions in the form of a puzzle, in the form of a race. Telling you keep the timer. Telling boss, yes, 18 minutes for a 10 mark question. See how much you're in a position to do. Do it the next day. Do it the next day. Firstly, your study becomes interesting. Secondly, your speed is automatically increasing. So that is one thing that helps you a lot. Okay, Sabrine. Next, sir, I'm currently doing articleship. Where did it go? Okay, and cannot complete the topic in the time and feeling low as I cannot manage my time. Yes, Merlin, know that everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. Okay, the only thing you'll have to do is you have to manage the time that you are having. Know that there is no point in regretting. You cannot, if there is something which is not within your control, there is no point even wasting a single second for that. You know, I'm having articleship. I have to travel. I have to do the work. That is something which is beyond my control. The only question you should be asking is, despite that, the time that I get, how do I utilize it 100%? Even imagine, yes, you're doing your articleship from 9 to 6. Imagine, yes, during my articleship, yes, I would come back. Yes, imagine at 6 I come back. I would take a small nap. Yes, till 7:30 I will sleep so that my mind is fresh. Yes, 8 o'clock I'll sit for study. I will sit 3 hours at a stretch till 11. I'll go to sleep. Morning 6 to 8 I will sit and study. So this way, even during articleship, despite articleship, yes, whenever I wanted, I would be in a position to pull off 5 hours of study. Okay, dear? Sir, completed costing till now and half law is done. Can I clear group 1 in November 23 examination? Definitely, dear. Yes, what you'll have to do is, you'll have to see how quickly you're in a position to cover the balance portions. Prepare a plan. Ensure that at least by end of September, you're in a position to cover other topics so that you'll be having roughly 1 month. That is sufficient for you to properly revise and give you 100% in examination. Okay. Swati Krishna, sir, any tip for FR paper? Study material. If you've seen FR questions in the past examination, I think except the Jan 21 attempt, majority all other attempts, 90% of questions are directly from the study material or the latest RTPs. Majority just from the study material. So if we can just cover that properly, revise that. Yes, see those items 1-2 days before examination, because in FR you can have that buffer. You can start your preparation 3 days before as well. And ensure that you are writing with the speed. You attempt for 100 marks. Trust me, your exams will go amazing. Okay? Thanks, sir. Means a lot to me, sir. How can I do second revision effectively? First, have a plan as to how much time you have to dedicate to your second revision. Suppose you are telling, imagine you're a CA final student, SCMP second revision, I'll give 3 days. Second, decide the priority in which you are going to revise. Till first time revision, you do it in the same order in which faculty has taken classes. But in the second revision, you see which chapters are important, which chapters are difficult. From there you start. Assign a time, a target for every topic. Suppose you are telling 3 days. Don't just start with the first chapter and see how long it takes. Have a target in mind. That modern business environment, I have to finish it off in 3 hours. Lean system and innovation, everything I have to finish it off in 3 hours. Now, it may not be possible that you are covering it in 3 hours, but you are a lot more effective than a person who has no target at all. So have a target. Point number 2. Yes, now even in your second revision, whatever things you feel is not necessary, unnecessary, go on eliminating so that it helps you in your third round of revision. Yes, whatever questions you are solving. Yes, if you feel all these questions are simple, you know already, you will be in a position to attempt it directly, eliminate it, go on doing that. So it continuously helps you for your next round of studies as well. So I completed my whole group 1 syllabus. From today, if I start group 2, can I able to clear? I'm CA Inter student. Can I clear both groups? Now, Vijay, yes, I'll tell you a simple metric. Yes, I cannot tell you you can do or you cannot do. I'll tell you a simple metric. If you can, if you are planning for both groups in CA Inter, roughly at least 40 days you should be having for revision. So today is 20th of August. In the next 30 days, if you feel that you're in a position to cover your group 2, yes, advanced accounts, auditing, ESSM and FM economics, go ahead. Or even if it goes up to 25th of September. Okay, but if it's going beyond that, you might be taking a risk. Now, I'm not telling it is not possible, but you will be having a risk. Okay, dear? So just have that in your mind. Yes, Swati sir, please share study tips for married people and currently the people who are working. Now, obviously, yes, I cannot share any study tip as such for married people because all the tips that I share comes from the situation that I have been in. But I can definitely tell one thing. Know that the dream that you are having, the sacrifices that you are making is precious. And every sacrifice that you are doing is taking you one step closer to your dream. I'm having so many of my students who are married, who are having kids, who are managing their kids. With that, they're doing their preparation and they have cleared the examination. And the only thing is if they can do it, yes, with all these challenges, all these difficulties, yes, managing the kid, managing the family, doing the work, yes, sitting back late night, early morning, whatever time they're getting, if they can do that, you can do it too. Okay, just have that positive mindset. Tell to yourself, it is not just you. There's so many people like me who are doing this. And tell to yourself, I'm a warrior. Yes, we do not give up. Whatever challenge God throws at us, we will be in a position to do that. Okay, so see what time is it that you're most effective. Yes, normally in that case, yes, imagine, yes, you are having a family, so you're doing the work. So you might finish your work by imagine 9 or 10. Okay, if possible, take a short half an hour nap, 10:30, sit at a stretch for 3 to 4 hours, speak with your parents or in-laws, see if you can allocate a bit of work to them. Yes, imagine if you are working, see to what extent you can utilize the travel time. Say during your travel time, you listen to some audio summaries. All those things can be done. Obviously, yes, your situation is going to be completely different. So in your situation, how you're going to do it is something you have to think. But you have to think how your time is going and what all you can use to make that time productive. Okay, dear? Sir, last attempt I studied SCMP using your YouTube video. It helped me to gain conceptual clarity, but unfortunately I got only 190. Is the remaining time enough, sir? I'm really demotivated. Arya, trust me, dear, you're very close to clearing your examination. Yes, getting 190 means you're very close to your clearing your examination. Just do not give up. Analyze what all mistakes you've done. Based on that, correct it. Trust me, you will be in a position to score 230 or 240 if you even utilize the balance time from now. Okay, dear? Neha, I prepared CA final both group. My first revision is done. How can I do my second revision more effectively? I have told Neha already. So got my certificate copy for CA Interlaw, which I couldn't clear. Wrote the provisions correctly, but conclusions were wrong. Kindly guide me in this regard. Now, it could be possible that one thing is you did not read the question properly. One possible reason. Okay, because of which you could not analyze, interpret and write. Yes, could be that you have not practiced sufficient questions. I've told you, right, that in case of a theory paper, having a question bank is must. Yes, in practical papers, we solve questions, we see questions. However, in theory, we feel that if we read provisions and go into the examination, it is sufficient. But it is not that way, dear. It is very important for us to have a question bank. Very important to revise questions, see how they have answered. So point number 1, have a question bank, latest question bank. Point number 2, yes, spend 1 minute more to read and understand the question. So if your provision is right, but your analysis is wrong, it's only that either you have not seen the questions itself or you have not read that properly in the examination. Okay, dear? Thank you so much. Okay, Sabrine, thank you so much. Thank you. Your words have given me that extra boost. Thank you so much. Vijay. Saranya, CA Interplanner. I'll just drop a message now. I'll forget it, dear students. Wait. Yes, I've dropped a message already. So hopefully by tomorrow you should be getting your CA Inter planner. Okay. So I've finished attending group 1 classes from Trisha few days back and want to attempt both groups. Second group, I just want to attempt. I've finished 5 chapters in each subject. Any tips? Now, yes, in case of second group, yes, what I can tell is, yes, if have a strong grip over your first group, point number 1. And when it comes to your second group, ensure that whatever things you have studied, you're in a position to revise it multiple times and you make it clear. Okay. And which order to study? Yes, you can refer ABC analysis. Say for example, auditing, which all essays are most important, in which priority you have to study. I'm not telling ignore the other topics, but give some more weightage to the topics which are most important. So that on YouTube, please refer some ABC analysis of the respective subjects. Yes, refer some 1 to 2 ABC analysis. You will be getting a reasonable idea. Based on that, have a plan. Okay, dear. But yes, even in your balance last 1.5 months, ensure that you give more weightage to your group 1, so that doesn't matter what happens, you crack your group 1. And based on that, you should be having a reasonable understanding of your group 2, so that yes, if the attempt is easy, you will be in a position to get really good marks. Even if the attempt is slightly hard, because you are having a good grip on group 1, yes, you might be in a position to get that comp of benefit, netting of benefit. Nevertheless, ensure that you make a plan on how you're going to take things forward. Okay, dear. Yes, have a question bank for the chapters you feel you do not have time to study. Say for example, in auditing or in EASSM. Instead of completely ignoring it, have a question bank just to see that. Okay. Srinivas, I have first group, only classes are done. I haven't done any revision yet. I'm confused. Yes, Srinivas. So what you can do is, now the balance time that you're having, you can decide it this way, that imagine you're having 10 hours in a day. 5 hours, I will revise group 1 on a daily basis because my classes are over. Balance 5 hours. Yes, I will watch some fast track classes for CA Inter group 2. Yes, daily basis, I will watch the class. Based on that, whatever they have done, I will revise it that day only. Okay, that can be done. Or if you feel you're not even having time for that, for auditing, you can refer some marathon videos. Yes, if you want marathon videos in English, you have marathon videos of Ramharsha sir. If you want auditing marathon in Hindi, you have of Shubham Keswani sir. Okay. And similarly for EASSM also, you'll be finding marathon videos. But ensure that somewhere, yes, you try covering majority of the concepts. As well as have a question bank for theory papers. So at least you revise those questions, see those questions. So you'll be in the examination, you'll be in a position to write something. Okay, dear. So this was the live session. I hope you've answered all the doubts. I hope I added some value to you guys. So with this, we end this session. We'll meet you guys next week. Till then, keep studying, keep smiling, keep working hard, keep making your parents proud, and see you next week for our next live session. Have a great day, students.